All right, we are back, CITIUS MAG, live from Eugene, Oregon, and I'm joined now by my co-host Eric Jenkins. Not in a speed suit yet. If you watch the morning show, we got 4,000 likes. There's a post up right now. If it gets that many likes, Eric Jenkins will be donning a New Balance speed suit.
I gotta go.
You don't have to deal with here, Conner.
I gotta go like that.
No, please.
And we're joined by 2024 U.S. Olympic Marathon Trials champion Conner Mantz, who jumped into the race last night, made it an honest pace, and then ended up in the money, walking away from the race with a little bit of prize money. So all in all, a pretty good day, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's better than going out and doing a 10K tempo on Breeze Trail and coming away with nothing. Like, there's no money for a tempo run, but go do it in a track stadium and run it with a bunch of like fast guys, taper a little bit, and then you come away with couple grand or something. Are you
the most chill guy in the what is it, the call room? Because
absolutely.
it was like
absolutely.
It's like, I already made this team. Yeah. I've got nothing to lose. I'm just here for a workout.
Right. I'm like, okay, if this goes bad, I'm like, it could go bad 400 in, and I could just step off. I get front row seats to a 10K final. And I'm already on the Olympic team, so
yeah, that must be
no
it must be so fun, like that experience. Like you've already made the team, you're coming in to do, it's just a workout on like the biggest stage.
Yes,
and there's no pressure. You're just able to have fun. Like, were you always planning on doing this race, or was it something that just kind of fit in the schedule well?
So I didn't plan on it right after the marathon trials. And then it was like, well, I'm qualified. Maybe I'll do it, maybe not. And then they're like, oh, you have to come for team processing in Eugene. And I'm like, so I have to be in Eugene anyway. Like, I don't want to have to like find a different race, and I don't want to work out in Eugene. Like, I feel like,
like who would want to do that?
I'd rather race here than work out here. Like every time I've tried to work out in Eugene, it's been like awful. So I'm like,
what's the worst experience?
Where do I begin?
Yeah. Probably just trying to do like some pickups on Breeze Trail, and just like my Achilles the next day just being so sore. Like
everybody's been saying. Actually, we've all been talking about trying to run on Breeze Trail, Achilles stuff.
Yeah, it happened.
No, it's too soft. It's the softest trail out there.
Great place to run.
Yeah.
Maybe not for a workout, unless like you just gotta adjust accordingly, and the watch doesn't tell you it's adjusting accordingly.
All right, so after the marathon trials, you go dark on Strava a little bit, and that's never a real good sign. So what exactly happened?
So I tore one of my quad muscles, the rectus femoris muscle. It was like 20 something centimeters by like a few centimeters. It was just a massive tear through it. I was just trying to I was like, okay, like I'm done with the marathon. Let's try and work on like hills, because I took a long break, probably the longest break I've taken since when I've been healthy since I don't know, pre-college.
It was never.
Like I can't tell you, but the longest break I've taken since then. So I was like, okay, I'm really gonna take the break seriously, so I don't end up burning out or getting injured. And then I started training, and I was like, yeah, this is usually how I train after a race, but I didn't. It's like, wait, I tapered for a long time. I took a break, and then I was like, all right, let's get some hills in. Let's get some strides in. I think it was just my body was not ready for that, and so I got hurt and took. I don't know. I was out for I think 3 weeks of running, but then I could do every other day, and just lots of swimming and.
You're a cross-training animal. Even last year, I guess, even for the build-up for the marathon trials too, right?
Yeah. So, been hurt more times in the last 9 months than I had been for 2 years before. I don't think I'd been hurt 2 years before that, so kind of a little frustrating.
Yeah. All right. So then, when did you get back to workouts with Clayton? The vlogs have been pretty sick. The ones
they've been sweet.
That Clayton's putting out.
Yeah. Those are so cool. I'm like, holy crap, Andrew's the guy that films it, and I'm like, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
I got to talk to Nike about, hey, can I get somebody hired out to do this? But then if it becomes the lesser vlog, then I don't want to.
My subscribers aren't as high as Clayton's right now.
It's just the comparison game. But I started training. I probably started doing workouts 2 weeks after running again, but I kept them pretty chill, more marathon specific, pace. It was getting down to marathon pace instead of starting at I don't know, speed stuff, and then, slowing down. It was, let's start slow. My coach Iceland thinks it was strides. I don't think it was strides. I don't know what it could have been, but I think it was just overdoing it after a long break. Like, I went on some trail runs, and then I was doing strides, and then, I don't know, I did. Coach kept being like, I saw you doing strides with Sebastian Fernandez. Like, that might have been it. I was like, no, like, I don't think that was it, but Sebastian's like a 146 guy in the 800, so maybe it was it.
Coach is like, I can't emphasize enough, I don't want you doing strides.
Yes. He like, what was funny is he started telling other guys on our team to not do strides too. Like like other 10K guys. He's like, hey, wait, you're not doing strides. Like, Creed Thompson, who ran, I think he was 17th last night. I'm pretty sure he hasn't been able to, like, coach has been keeping him from doing strides for a while.
All everyone wants to do is just do strides over there, and coach is like, it's literally the one thing I can't have you doing.
Exactly.
Overall, then, I guess, like, how are things going in the build-up for Paris?
It's been good. I mean, it took, like, probably the last week has been specific to this one race, or, like, regarding the 10,000. But everything's been very focused on just, let's be fit for Paris. I'm happy the marathon is in 7 weeks. If it was in 2 weeks, I don't think I'd be that confident, but everything else is going pretty good.
The course is gnarly.
Yes.
Clayton got to see it. You haven't got to see it, right?
No, if I'm gonna be there for like opening ceremonies, I don't want to be and like I'm gonna run on it then. I don't think you're gonna need to see it and visualize it for months and months and months. You can do it for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So
I'm racing the same day as you
awesome.
at the marathon at the Olympics. At the Olympics is the key word there. You're in the Olympics. I'm running at the Olympics. Yeah. The all-comers marathon that they're doing that night. Should we set like an over/under? Like if I finish within an hour? No, an hour is not enough time because I'm thinking like this might be the hardest marathon I ever run. Like because I'm gonna have no sleep, on my feet in the mix zone all the time, sweating constantly, probably not eating. I haven't really eaten all that much since getting here in Eugene. That like
things are good.
Yeah, life's great. You drink that Olipop, that'll probably help you.
I'll drink the Olipop. I'm fueled by Olipop.
No water, no food, no sleep. Gonna run a marathon. What do you think I got?
Yeah. So I think like 3:30 might be a realistic goal for me.
Okay.
On day 10 of the Olympics. So what is that? That would be 90 minutes? Is that what I'm giving?
I mean, I'm not gonna run 2 hours flat.
Yeah.
Do 80 minutes. 80 I feel like is.
Yeah. All right, we'll do 80 minutes.
Chris doesn't like that.
I don't like it, but like the last 10K I believe is flat, right? Like
the last 10K is, but at 18 there's a 13% hill. So
yeah. So okay, let's explain the course for people. And like, my understanding is there is a 13 grade hill at 18.
Right.
But there's a couple other hills along the way.
Right.
Isn't there like a really nasty downhill portion?
I think it's right after that 18.
Yeah.
That's at least what Clayton's been telling me. Maybe he sabotaged you.
Yeah. He doesn't want you to do really well in the vlogs, and he doesn't want you to know the course in Paris. Yeah.
Fiona, when we paid a visit to Park City to film a video with Fiona O'Keefe, they'll be coming out in a couple of weeks. She was telling me about just sort of like practicing taking gels at a certain angle when you're going downhill because of the way the gels sit with you. If you can't just like take them at any point, like. Are there weird things
I haven't thought about
for this
that.
marathon? I know, like, this one's going to be a weird race.
It is, and it's weird when you look at like the last 2:08 was the winning time, and those were relatively fast courses, but it was always hot. And so now it's like if Paris is hot, and it's this hilly, it's like is it gonna take like I don't know. Somebody told me they think like I think it was Rory was telling me he thinks like 2:11 or 2:12 will probably medal.
I think someone threw out like 2:10, like would be a medal recently in one of the interviews that I did, and I was like, they probably misspoke, but maybe.
Yeah. Clayton was like, oh, like 2:08, like you can run 2:08 and probably not medal, and I'm like, how hard you made this course sound. I feel like 2:08's not even gonna win it, like or like 2:08 would win it.
Yeah.
So
this might be your best chance to beat Kipchoge.
I think so. I mean, Boston was probably my best chance, but I went out too hard and tried to beat him from the front. So
You get shot number 2 now.
Yeah, I get shot number 2, and Bekele.
And
I mean,
Bekele, you've raced him before?
I've only raced Kipchoge once. I haven't
No,
raced
but Bekele never, right?
Never.
That's got to be like so weird. These guys were running at the Olympics like 20 years ago, and now
Oh yeah.
they're back.
Yeah,
What were you 20 years ago?
20 years ago, not thinking about running. That's for sure. Having my mom drive me to elementary school, like first grade, second grade.
You were so lazy, not even
Yeah,
putting in
I know.
miles then?
Yeah, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
Dang it, these guys are
Yeah.
running probably 120
Yeah.
miles a week back then.
Bekele's got such a leg up.
I was playing Pokemon at recess out.
Grow up.
So last night's race, take me through. You're in the call room, just kind of probably like joking around while everyone's like game mode serious.
Yeah.
No discussion from like the guys at the standard, be like, all right, Conner, make this one fast. Like no one talked to you?
No, I mean, coach and I had like talked about like maybe making a plan with somebody in the field to like try and keep it fast and try and go for like a standard or go for. I think if I had ran around 27:20s.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Somebody would approach you and say, "Hey, I'll work with you a little bit. Try to keep it honest and maybe get some sort of standard in there."
Right. I think if I'd ran 27:20s, I'd get the ranking.
Yeah.
But I didn't really want to like. I've worked with people in the past, and it's never worked out for me. Where it's like, I made a deal with someone. Like I did it last Olympic trials in the 10,000, and the person that was supposed to take the lead for me never did. And it was like,
Name him.
I can't remember. It was one of the W Cap guys. I don't know which one, but it was like we'd all work together, and then Robert Brandt, who I talked to too about it, he'd said he's like, no, dude, my coach just wants me to sit and wait.
Yeah.
I was like, all right. He's the one that took the lead for me. He's like, no, screw this. I might as well lead with you. But it was just kind of a funny like scenario, and I've done it multiple times where people have been like, let's go for a fast time, and it's just never worked out. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna go for it on my own. And I let like Casey know, I let Creed know, I let Sam Chalenga know because I felt like I owed it to him for when he moved to Utah and trained with us for 2 months. So
he took the lead last night for a little bit.
He did.
Yeah.
And what was funny is like we talked after the race, and he's like, yeah, I came to help you. And I was like, yeah, dude, I was gonna drop out like around then. I was not feeling good. I knew I was already made the team. I probably should have had that thought before the race that I was like, I could drop out and I'll be fine. But he told me he was getting like afterward that he was helping me. But in the race, when he took the lead, one of the times, it was like 7 or 8 laps to go. I told him like, go Sam, and I like slowed down to like get the field to like.
Yeah.
to, like,
You were
Sam could
pulling
just-
the Chilimo. You were doing your own Chilimo.
I was doing
in
the
there.
Chilimo move to get Sam to go way ahead. It was like, it's like Sam ended up like somehow being like winning it by like moving up and like nobody gone with him.
Yeah.
Just be a legendary move. Like wins Olympic trials at what 38, 39
Yeah.
years
Yeah.
old.
Realistically, I guess like that was the cool part about last night's race was that just how many guys like were going for it with like the shot of actually making the team was low because of the rank. Like
Right.
everyone would have needed to run fast and get in the rankings.
They'd all
quota.
need to run another 10K next week. Or,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, okay, good luck. Maybe Jesse from Sound Running could put on a 10K here at East
Right.
Eugene High School or South
Right.
Eugene High School. But I was like, okay, these guys must just be doing it for the money, and that's what kept you in.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking about like dropping out at like I thought about dropping out pretty early. To be honest, I was like, I'll drop out at 2 miles, but then I was like, no, I can't be that guy who like goes out and leads the thing and then just drops out, and everyone's like, oh, what was he doing? Like,
yeah.
but then I was like, somebody will pass me eventually, and then Chilimo did around 5K, and I mean, it was every other lap. I was like, I'm gonna drop out in 2 laps. I was gonna drop out in 2 laps, but Chilimo passed me at 5K, and then he slowed down a lot, and I didn't have to lead into the wind, and I was like, oh, this feels really easy. But then I like realized we ran like a 37-200 or something, and I was like, oh wait, that's slower than marathon pace. I should probably pass him again.
It's funny to hear you were thinking about dropping out at 2 miles because you were the one. You're like, this is hard, but like you were the one who was making it hard. Like you led the whole
Oh
thing.
man, you know, I don't know how my mind works in races.
Yeah.
Not very well, but
When you see kind of like the Grant takes it with how much was it left to go?
I think he made his move with a K to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing at that point in the race? Like, are you just holding on for dear life, but then like also at the same time watching what's happening up in the front?
Yeah, like my thing was I was like, I'm gonna drop out like soon, and then Andrew Colley took it and he made a big move, and I'm just chilling at the back of that pack, and I was like, sweet, like those guys can go fight it out. But then I was like, wait a sec, I'm in 10th place, 8 get prize money.
Yeah.
And like I'll pass 2 of these guys later, but like I was so far back that when he made his move, a gap formed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh crap, like I'm not gonna catch up to like some of these guys. So I had to like make a move to kind of move up, but there was that gap had already formed. And so when Grant made his move, it was like I wasn't in that pack anymore. And I think had I been in that, I would have fought a little more. But it was just kind of like I had this thought of, that one thought of dropping out, and it like this race doesn't really matter. And so like I didn't feel that need to like grind and fight for like every position, which I think kind of bit me in the butt the last bit, but last mile and a half, but it's fine. Like,
Yeah, especially, you're considering dropping out 2 miles. You made it
Yeah.
all the way. Like, you did a good job.
yeah, I mean, like I really wanted to try and run like a PR. Coach Eystone was like, start at 66s, and I was like, I'm gonna start at 65s. He's like, all right, you do your thing.
We're back on the strides thing.
Right. I'm a hard person to coach.
Yeah. He's like, let's start at 66s. You're like, deal, 65s. Yeah.
He said, if you want to, go for it. And then after, I'm like, yeah, you're right. He's like, I know, but you act like I don't know anything.
So I'm just, it's so funny. Immediately after the marathon trials, when we did like our post-race podcast together, you were just floating the idea of just like, like lining up. You're like, I might run the 10 like in a month. And, obviously like those things didn't happen. What are there going to be is there another race potentially? You just did Boulder to Boulder before this.
Yeah.
And then you've got a couple more weeks. Does racing fit into it or not?
I might run like Peachtree. Just I might try. I would only want a course that's like similar to Peachtree, where it's hilly, hot, humid. Need something.
You should have gone to Western States this week or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Just throw me in. I'll pay someone for 20 miles.
Yeah. You run a lot. You probably race a lot more than the average marathoner. Do you feel like do you always want to keep have races on the schedule and would rather do these races as opposed to just stacking big blocks of training?
See, I just think like if you just keep stacking big blocks of training, either like you're gonna burn out. I enjoy having a lower week every once in a while, and it's like you might as well do that on a race week.
Yeah.
And I enjoy racing. Like I feel like it's kind of, I don't know, kind of boring when you're like, I'm training for 12 weeks, and if this race doesn't go well, then that's it. I really enjoy breaking it up every few weeks.
Yeah. When's the next 1500?
Dude, I want to run a mile.
Yeah, there you go.
Got to beat that high school mile, official high school mile PR, because that's
What is the official high school mile PR?
4:07. That's
Yeah.
I should say it's my official mile PR right now from my junior year of high school, and I'm like, I need to break that.
You gotta break that.
Like I've done it at the end of races. I've done it in like
Yeah, I think you can do it.
yeah, I've done it in splits and like time trials and stuff in Provo, but like I want to just go and break 4.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know when, but eventually.
You joked to Ray, didn't you? Like your agent, Ray Flynn, that like, put me in the Wanamaker.
Oh, I have, and I think it bugs him.
Does he like that joke?
I don't think he does, because he knows I'm like somewhat serious.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not near that good. And he's just like, oh, like, even though because he's in charge of that field, so it's just
He
like,
is,
I'm bugging him.
He does have the power to do it.
I'm like, come on, Ray. Like, what do I got to do to get you to put me in Wanamaker?
All right. I guess one thing people might be wondering is like, since the trials, has anything just like life like changed or anything like that? Because it's like the title of Olympian gets attached to you. Some people are like, all right, maybe I wouldn't attach that until I get to the actual Olympics and compete. But what is the biggest difference? Like more Instagram followers, like more media obligations.
There's a lot of media obligations, a lot of trying to say no.
Yeah.
I moved to Park City partially to get high altitude training, partially so people would stop bugging me. It's like, oh, I can't go to, oh, you want to meet in Provo? I can't. It's an hour drive. I have to stay up here for training. trying to think.
You've linked up with like Grant while you were there, right?
Yeah.
Like, for a couple workouts.
Yeah, just one run.
Okay.
I want to do more, but he's on like a 9-day cycle and we're on a like 7-day cycle, so
Yeah.
I don't know, but
He'll get you to sub 4.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey Grant, you want to pace me for a
Yeah,
mile?
yeah.
I know that's probably your workout.
Yeah, you're doing it anyway.
Yeah,
Let me hop in.
But yeah, it's I don't know. Not a ton has changed. Like media obligations have been big, but
Did you have to do like I guess in team processing? That's just usually you've done it a couple times before, right? Like.
I've done team processing when I've been an alternate.
Oh really?
So it was a lot.
That's
It's a
not
lot
as
more. It's a
fun.
lot more fun when you actually get the jersey than
Yeah.
than when you see everyone trying it on and you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
no, I've been
I want
there.
that.
Yeah. Yeah, not
Yeah,
fun.
wait, were you were 4th and 4th or 4th and 5th?
No, I was just 4th, 2016.
Okay.
Yeah. Fun times.
Yeah, fun
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Time of your life. Right?
Time of my life. Yeah.
Well, Connor, what's next? I guess while you're here in Eugene, you staying for a bit or what?
I'll watch some of the races today. So I did USATF team processing today, and then the Olympic processing people aren't getting in until tomorrow.
Okay.
So I had to stay another day, and then I feel kind of bad because like Kenneth and James Corrigan are racing the steeple final on Sunday, and I'm like, see you guys, good luck.
I got to get out of Eugene,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
My
with all the
Achilles.
yeah,
Yeah.
all the U.S. championships and trials, like
Can't do strides in this city.
exactly.
Yeah.
Not with coach around.
No,
yeah,
yeah.
Like, I'm getting out of here so I
Yeah.
can go do some strides. in Park
Can't
City.
wait.
And then hit us with like, aside, I guess it depends on how many races you watched yesterday, but what are you thinking? Like men's 1500, we had our first round. You have any takes? Like who's looking good to you right now?
That 1500s, there's too many people to really say anything.
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, I got a little frustrated because my old college teammate Lucas Bonds ran he barely made it off a time qualifier,
Yeah.
but it was like 0.07 away from not making it. And then I talked to him after, and he's like, "Yeah, I thought with 50 meters to go, I had a lot of time to get a time qualifier, so I kind of relaxed." I was like, "No, like
No.
And then he's like, "I didn't realize I was 0.07 away until after I finished." I was like, "Dude, you can't have that attitude." So
Yeah. Well, sweet. Well, Connor, we appreciate you stopping by. I'm sure we'll check in with you before Paris. And if you have any course tips or any sort of training advice, because my training is at 0 right now.
All right,
for
well,
Paris. But
I'd say go
over-unders-
for a run.
Yeah, go for a run.
Yeah.
Probably go run on Priest Trail.
Yeah. He's like, okay, pre-trail, get a few strides, and yeah. Let's
Do
start
what
there.
I can't do.
Let's
Yeah.
start there. Yeah.
All right, Connor. Well, I appreciate it.
All right,
We'll be
thanks.
right back with our next guest shortly.